Bueno, mi gente, estamos con la actualización de yo. Por fin, luego de tanto tiempo, de tantos meses, sin nada, tenemos por fin actualización, así que vamos a pasar a reaccionarla. También vamos a ver un poquito de análisis, pero eso lo vamos a dejar para otro video. Pero primeramente vamos a reaccionar a todo lo que nos tienen para mostrarnos los chicos de Riot. Así que vamos a ver qué onda, qué se nos viene. Vamos a ver qué pasa.
Hey everyone, it's Tom here. I'm here with Sean and Clock for a dev update on 2xKO. Last month, we announced that we're revisiting our plans for Alpha Lab 2. And after that, we know you had a lot of questions. You wanted to know what we've been working on ever since our first Alpha Lab last August. So in this video, we're
Oh, que se
going
ve
to catch
bonito.
you all up. We'll go over all the big gameplay changes since Alpha Lab 1 and walk you through our newest champion, Jinx, and finish off with the dev show match.
Uy,
First,
uy,
let's
que se ve
talk about
bonito.
how Alpha Lab 2
Se ve
fits
bonito,
into
se
our
ve bonito.
overall development plan. Until now, the focus has been getting our core gameplay right by building and testing demos of the game at events like EVO and Combo Breaker. And your feedback here has really helped keep us on track. At this point, we're feeling pretty confident about the core game, and so we're entering a new stage of development and shifting our focus to the mountain of surrounding work that it takes to launch a really great game.
Está bonito el
Building
mapa, weón.
permanent servers, improving matchmaking, localization, and UI. Alpha Lab 2 was intended to be a larger scale playtest on the road to launch, but as we were putting it together, we find ourselves having to make some short-term trade-offs that could end up ultimately delaying the launch of the game. So we've decided to downsize that test in the spirit of getting the full game out to everyone as soon as we can.
Bien,
We're still
gracias.
planning a large-scale playtest closer to the actual launch, and as we dial in the details, we'll continue to put the game together and keep you in the loop. Since we know you're itching for news, for the entire rest of this video, we're just going to show you all the things we've been working on ever since Alpha Lab 1. You ready? Let's go.
All right, so I want to talk about the first of the four areas, gameplay and control simplicity. So we just received a lot of feedback that inputs felt confusing, inconsistent, and that there's actually some that overlapped and you're trying to do one thing, but you got the wrong outcome. So what we did was we took a look at the controls and the gameplay, and we simplified and consolidated a lot of these things.
Ok.
I'm going to start with the first one, launchers and anti-airs. So if you remember before in Alpha Lab 1, down heavy was your anti-air, and down forward heavy was your launcher.
Sí.
And this is pretty confusing. So what we did was we made it so that just down heavy is your launcher that has anti-air properties. So go ahead and jump at me, Clock.
Ah, va a ser para los dos.
You can follow up with a combo,
Ok.
which is great. But this is also your launcher. So
Ah,
there's no more
simplificaron
launcher
el...
plus anti-air as separate things. And you notice that some characters that had one, or the other, they just remain with one. But characters like Darius and a few others, we actually kept that move on their kit with a different input. So this button for Darius used to be his anti-air. This is now forward and heavy, so you can still use it for pressure and combo routes and things like that. I also want to talk about sweeps and overheads.
Ok.
So before, the input for overhead used to be forward and medium, and we got a lot of feedback that people were like, hey, I'm running after people and I'm trying to hit medium to start pressure or combo, but I'm actually getting my overhead, and it didn't feel very good. So there are now characters that have overheads, they're now on down forward and medium, and we're trying to consolidate that, as well as sweep is down forward heavy. So anybody that has a sweep, it's on down forward heavy.
Parece que cambió el combo que estaba haciendo yo
Team button simplification.
con ese cambio.
Plus team to call your forward assist, especially out of block, was a little bit of a struggle because sometimes you would get push block and then lose a bar, and it just wasn't very intuitive with how you'd want to pressure folks. So now you just press team, that does your old forward assist.
Ya,
Just
perfecto.
like before, holding back and hitting team, that does your old back assist.
Se simplificó la
Like,
asistencia.
how do I do tag launcher? Because I used to press team for that. But we wanted to make it consistent and easy to remember. If down and heavy is your launcher with anti-air properties, then down and team is your tag launcher. And so those are pretty consistent now and easy to remember. In Alpha Lab 1, you used to be able to hold forward plus team or hold back plus team to get a charge assist or a running assist. We removed that from the game except for in Sidekick Fuse, which is a new fuse I'll talk about in a bit. But the reason we removed it was it actually led to some pretty stale gameplay across all teams. Where you sit full screen, you hold forward or back plus team, you send your assist across, and you see what happens. If it hit, you handshake tag and you do a big combo. If they blocked it, you handshake tag and you do pressure. If they jump, you handshake tag and then you jump and air throw or launch or anti-air. And then they were like, well, I'm just going to hit the assist. Well, then you punish them with your point for hitting it. So on top of that, too, it actually allowed for a lot of follow-ups that we really didn't intend for, and it just started to make kits a little bit more homogenized than we like. I'll give you an example, like Darius S2 knocks you really far away, outside of the corner, but with charge assists, you could just hold it and run across the screen and follow up. And so, again, it made a lot of the situations and outcomes pretty similar, so we're excited to separate that out a little bit. Looking at the next
Voy a
section,
tener que rever eso porque no
super,
entendí
super,
qué se
excuse
refería.
me, super input simplification.
There you go.
There we go, we got there. We heard a lot of feedback around down, being a struggle on some peripherals in particular, but even on ones that folks were mixed about. So we removed that as the input for supers and now made it a lot easier. Now the input is hitting any normal plus special. So for super 1, I can do S1 plus L, and that
O
will
los tres.
do
Ya, perfecto.
super for Darius. But you notice I can do any normal with this S1 to get that super. So I can do M plus S1. I can do S1 plus H. They all give me that S1 super.
Sean, what about S2 super?
Oh yeah, S2 super. Same thing. So you hit S2 plus any normal button.
Ah, es
So
solo apretar el
S2 plus
botón.
L gives me that S2 super. S2 plus
Antes
N,
era abajo, abajo.
same thing, and then S2 plus H. This is important for us because, one, it's a struggle, we know, to do like down on analog sticks. But two, like you might have your button set up on your peripheral in a way where one normal might be better positioned to hit with that special than a different one. So we really want you to have the best way to get these things out. And that's, so it should be pretty straightforward and easy. Also, want to talk a little bit about ultimates. S1 plus S2, that does your ultimate now. You may have noticed just here that they cost 3 bars now. This is pretty important because we really wanted to make them feel impactful and a little bit rare. And so when you see them, they hit. We've adjusted the damage accordingly as well. And also,
Ya, entonces cambiaron la manera en que se ejecutan los especiales.
talk a little bit about
Ahora
how
es solo el
you do
botón.
these.
Ya, ¿qué es
Specifically,
esto?
I know some of you, myself included, may have been in Alpha Lab. You got this happy birthday clock's 9 over here, and one of the characters falls out. And if it's their point character and they punish you while you're still doing the combo, you're like, why did I get punished for hitting both of their characters at once? What is happening here?
Mm.
So we reduced global hit pause and made some key adjustments to counter hit pause as well in order to remove some of those cases where
Yo lo ocupaba con los super esos.
drop
Cuando estaban
unexpectedly.
dos.
And to a similar effect, assists no longer enter the battlefield if the point champions hit before the assist lands. Those reductions actually make combos a little bit shorter and made the game feel quite a bit faster.
Ok.
One other thing I want to talk about here too was parry. So we heard a lot of pain around parrying a physical attack and then accidentally getting another parry afterwards, causing you to not only whiff that parry, but lose that meter and then get punished by your opponent. You're like, hey, this is a sharp reversal of fortune. Can we not do that? And so, so we took that out, of course. On physical hit, I'll go ahead and parry it. Finally, we increased input
Se siente la
consistency
consistencia, sí.
in situations like when you're
Sí.
double tapping and character canceling. So folks that were using those techniques,
Le da más chance.
things a lot more consistent. We made some changes
Okay.
to fuses and other core gameplay systems, based on a lot of stuff that we heard. And I actually kind of wanted to talk a little bit about new fuses and Pulse. Starting a little bit with Pulse, folks had a lot of really great feedback around it. You may have seen, the message I shot out last month, talking about, hey, that fact that's not a fuse anymore. And more specifically, folks wanted to pair it with like other fuses in the game, especially when they're duoing and bringing their friend onto their team. They still wanted to use a fuse and maybe have their friend use Pulse while they didn't use it. We actually have it as a toggle in Champ Select. Anybody can turn it on and off at that moment and try it out. So let us know what you think. So let's get into Champ Select. Luckily, it remembers the last selection. So I'll go Yasuo. There it is. So you notice here at the bottom, it says Pulse Combo. So any of us can hit this button. You see at the top, the little Pulse icon appears, and that means that you have Pulse enabled. And just as a reminder, Pulse, will let you mash lightning or heavy, and they'll go into like a short combo. And if you have the
Buenísima. Entonces la persona que desea ocupar el pulse, el pulso, que es el que te hace los combos automáticos, lo puede ocupar. Y puede combinarlo con otro fuse. Me encanta el cambio. Está muy bien.
So you can hold back or down back and mash light, and you'll just get chainable light attacks and not the whole pulse combo.
So I want to talk about 2 new fuses. The first one I want to talk about is Sidekick, which I'm going to have Tom and Clock pick and represent. And I'll go ahead and take Juggernaut. fight as a single champion with enhanced powers. We're gonna talk about
What?
those powers in a second. We'll first talk about sidekick a little bit. A lot of y'all like asked us like, hey, I want to learn this game, but I kind of want to learn a support role. You know, I want to like help my friend, but maybe not like be the star of the show when I really haven't like taken the time to learn the game or learn a specific character and not have all that pressure on me. So we listened, and so you know we came up with this fuse called sidekick, where the character that you start with on point, they never switch out. You know, however, your friend can come in and perform an assist, but they don't switch out ever there.
Ok,
And
solo
then
funciona
also
como...
charge assist. So you remember before I was like, hey, those are gone from the game except for sidekick. So Tom, if you like hold the team button, see the old charge assist is back. Already they're hitting that synergy. Another cool thing is, you know, this sidekick can actually get up to 5 bars a meter. And so I have a meter maxed out now, but you see us both with 5 bars. For sidekick, your point character gets a little bit of a health boost along with a defensive boost once they're at 20% or less health.
30%.
Sorry, 30% less health.
Yeah.
Apologies. The cool thing is that the assist can perform a super in tandem with their point character. And so let's see if you guys can do that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do my S2 super Tom, and then you can just match your Time Wander super.
Yeah,
Yeah,
try.
okay. There you go.
Y ahí sale el otro.
Ooh.
Bueno.
Could have been a little juicy there. If you notice, like, Sidekick has Fury Break at the start. You know, we used to call the combo breaker system in our game dynamic save.
It's a mouthful.
It's a lot of words, all right? And so we now just call it break. When one of your champions dies, your remaining champion will get 50% of their break meter, and it will change to this new meter at the top you see called Fury Break. These two fuses, Sidekick and Solo, they actually start off with Fury because, of course, they don't have another champ. The really cool thing about Sidekick is that the assist character, the assist champion, the person using it, can actually like reduce the combo damage their point is receiving. We call it like combo softener internally, and it makes this really cool visual and sound effect. And you start to learn the timing of combos subconsciously when you're doing it, but you really feel like you can help out.
How do you do it?
So basically, you press any attack button the moment that the opponent's attack lands.
So we're gonna try it. We're gonna see you do this. The little blue glow is the softener. Ooh,
Yeah, a little too early, but yeah,
Terrible.
You got it.
All right.
So it's actually really fun to like learn the timing and help out in that way. Again, it's just another way for someone to play a support role as a sidekick. Then I want to talk about
Está interesante igual.
so that's the fuse that I have on my side of the screen. This fuse was one where we talked to a lot of players that let us know like, hey, I really want to get into this game, but I really want to start by just learning a single champion. I don't even want to learn another champion to call assist or help out. Just want to focus really on one specific character and like learn him to the max. And when I'm comfortable, like start to branch out. As a result, we created this Juggernaut fuse, and you literally just have one champion. You start with them. You start with 2 meters, similar to Sidekick. There's a max of 5. You gain a health and a health boost, and you gain a defensive boost when you're at 30% or less health. You also don't have access to assists. You have access to Fury Break at the round start, similar to Sidekick. This one's interesting in that you can cast self double down, meaning you can do super into super or super into ultimate. I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. So we'll do this, and I can do S2 super. I did a little early, but you kind of get the idea, right? You pop it, wait for the juice to happen, maybe
Hey, Sean,
run up.
I noticed like you're playing as just as Yasuo, but you picked 2 champs.
Yeah, exactly. You want to tell a little bit about that, Clark?
Yeah, so you know, Sidekick and Juggernaut, they're unique in that during gameplay, the point and the assists cannot switch roles. However, during pre-round agency, so when it says ready, fight, we allow in all the fuses for players to switch by holding the team button, then it could do a quick tag. That's also the same for Juggernaut
okay.
and Sidekick. So in the case of Sidekick, you know, I'm Sean's sidekick, but maybe the next round we want to switch it up a bit. We can switch at the beginning of the round, and then I am the new point character, and then Sean is my sidekick.
Muy bien pensado, la verdad.
As well, you can pick 2 characters. You don't even have to play the second character, but you can always switch between them from round to round.
Say like Tom and Clark are just rocking my Yasuo, and I lose that round, but you know I've done a little bit of look ahead. I know they're not good against Darius, so at the start of the next round, I'll just like hold that team button and switch to Darius. But again, that round I got only Darius.
You're locked in.
Darius. Yep.
Pero está bien pensado que puedes elegir con quién quieres jugar al inicio del round.
So, because the team button has no assist to call, and there's no tag launcher or another champion to tag to, just hitting team causes this eject state, which forces their point character out and forces that assist character in, and now that's their new point. And so you could do things like this, and you know there's a little bit of guess like.
Ojo, te da una brecha para poder continuar el combo.
That's amazing. He got that block. Please don't gas him up too much. Like I won't be able to deal with that. But
my defense. What can I say? What can I say?
He does a good defense. But again, like Juggernaut was just something that we really wanted folks to just focus on that one character and get in there and get in the mix. And so you also notice again it starts with Fury right out the gate. And again, we'll talk a little bit about Fury later. The next thing I want to talk about was Limit Strike.
¿Qué es esto?
Again, this is along the lines of really just enabling you all to have some really interesting decisions in all kinds of situations at various points of the fight. One of the ways our combos work is that if you do like what we call like a major reaction, like a ground bounce or a wall bounce or a tumble, you do one of those in the combo, you don't get another one. So if you try to do another one, it just ends the combo.
Sí.
But now, depending on what you end the combo with, you get a little bit of a bonus on top of it. So I'll give you an example. If you end a combo after you've already done a reaction with a ground bounce, you get extra damage. If you do another wall bounce, you get extra meter. So you see extra.
Y te da un poquito más de chance.
Bottom left. And if you do like another tumble, if I was good enough, it does a hard knockdown.
Yeah, and from that hard knockdown, I can't roll forward or back, so I'm kind of stuck.
Pienso que esa wea se va a abusar en los combos, pero está interesante como para meter un daño extra.
What is the most damage and meter I can get to get there? But in Alpha Lab 1, these things, meter and damage, weren't decoupled. So a lot of the decisions around the routes that you would pursue just weren't very interesting. As a result, in this new version that you're going to play, meter and damage are now separated from one another. And attacks build up very specific amounts of meter independently of damage done. And this just allows you to choose like, hey, do I want to pick a specific route for damage, or do this other route that might do less damage but maybe gives me more meter, or even positioning as well.
Yeah, so this combined with the Limit Strike system, we really want to give players a lot of decision making within their combos based on how they start, based on how they want to end, and their champions and how they can capitalize off of these different enders.
Exactly. And Clock talked a little bit about like hard knockdown, limiting some options. And so I want to talk a little bit more about that. We actually gave you some options when you get knocked down, so that you're not just like stuck there and having to just guess for your life all the time over and over again, and literally just stuck in the forever vortex off of everything. So when we knock you down, actually let me use a different one. I'll just sweep you. You have a bunch of options now, so you can
puedes rolear, ya.
roll forward.
Manteniendo apretado.
Does go through you, and this can be a way to get you out the corner. You can also hold backwards and roll back, and then you still can use your get up attack as well.
Oh, sorry, I was holding that.
Claro, ese es el otro.
Yeah, and we've also made a change to the get up attack in that it breaks armor now, so you can't just like blow through get up attacks with armor.
Yeah, we were seeing a lot of folks just really reduce all the decisions on wake up just by getting some ice on Brahm's shield and doing an armored swing, and even beating get up attack was pretty rough. I want to talk a little bit about assist speed as well. And so some of the assists in our game were just flying in way too quick. Like they just instantly appear, like Darius Shoulder, Echo Chrono Strike, Ari Spirit Rush. It was like right away. There was like no reaction time whatsoever. And so we slowed it down a little bit. So the assist that comes in, it went from 10 frames to 15 frames, and just allowing for a little bit more interaction as well. So I was even able to I wouldn't have been.
Igual es harto tiempo el que se queda ahí.
Right now.
Yeah, so let's talk about the feedback surrounding player agency. We heard that most players didn't mind making mistakes, but did mind when they frequently found themselves in zero agency states for long periods of time. So we've been working on some changes designed to increase the fun uptime and reduce the amount of time you spend trapped in the corner, getting comboed, etc., etc. So first up, let's talk about dynamic save. We're now calling dynamic save break. And
thank you.
Yeah, the hitbox now gets bigger over time, and then blocking break is easier to combo from. So you also get 50% break meter after a champion dies. Why? Well, we saw and heard that how hard it was to make a comeback. So even when folks were evenly skilled, it's hard to make a comeback. As a result, we removed Fury as a fuse and now have a new system called Fury Break.
Okay.
Some of the new fuses. So when a champion dies, you gain
Tiene un
50%
50%.
break meter and becomes Fury Break, which gives you a 25% damage boost and a 25% damage reduction. You can activate this the same way as you activate Break by pressing, S1 or S2 plus a team button. Of course, if you're playing duos, then your duo does that for you. There are several types of Fury Break activation. So Sean's doing it offensively. So, you do it in the middle of a combo. It does a wall bounce.
Pero bueno, se cambió el fuse, ahora pasa a ser al momento que se hace el break. Y te da una posibilidad de hacerlo. Está interesante igual.
Similarly, if you do it defensively, you get those same bonuses. So you can Fury Break here. Yeah. So similarly, Sean has Fury Break activated right now, also lasts 10 seconds. The big difference is that if he does it in neutral, so if he doesn't do it offensively or defensively, just does it in neutral, the bonus actually lasts for 20 seconds. 20 seconds. So, but that means you can't use it in a combo, and that also means you can't use it to save yourself. So,
claro, tenés que iniciar el combo.
Sure. One of the great things about Fury Break is when you're in that Fury state, you can dash cancel, and it removes 5 seconds off the clock. So after your remaining time, rather. And so I'll go ahead and show you. I have it on. You can dash cancel any special or normal, as long as you have it left on hit or block, which is really powerful. And so I'll show you like some fun stuff. Let's see if clock can block this.
Oh my God.
So
I would have blocked the second part.
I mean, there's a lot of would'ves. No, he would have blocked it. So it's kind of the idea of like, hey, you're in this Fury state.
Me gusta cómo se entretiene el weón jugando esta weón. Unas ganas de jugarlo. Unas ganas de jugarlo.
Get them off of you and have a little bit of time. But hey, if you want to use this thing offensively, if you want to like pressure, like if you just block, like, sorry if I do this, they're stuck there for a second. So like they have to guess now, like, and then.
Ooh.
And so there's a lot of pressure that can be had. What it is when it comes down to Fury and Fury Break, I know again we showed like Juggernaut and Sidekick, and they start with it on because they only have those single champions up front. But in any other fuse like Double Down, 2x assist, Freestyle, once your first champion dies, just remember you get that 50% Fury Break meter, and Fury Break is on. It's ready to go. Like once you decide to use it.
Cool. So let's talk about push block. We got a lot of feedback in Alpha Lab 1 that push block was just not available enough. It cost 1 bar, so the cost was pretty steep. And also, if you didn't have any meter, then you were just stuck and you couldn't push block at all. So
Sí, era algo.
now it no longer.
No me acuerdo que comenté.
Now it's performed by pressing the team button while you're blocking. And if you are the assist, then the assist is the one responsible for the push block. Internally we call this push assist. So this shares a cooldown with your assist, and also allows you to handshake tag after a successful push assist. Yeah. So it's much more available now. You have to make a choice between calling your assist and offensive pressure versus defense. And if you're playing with a duo, your duo is responsible for protecting you from
Ok, él está a cargo.
Yeah, Tom, you gotta help me out here when it comes to getting Sean off of me.
Let's see.
Ahí está el push block.
Kind of keep the party going.
Está interesante, weón.
So AirTech,
Y es cuando está bloqueando.
combos which were not, real combos during Alpha Lab 1, since folks were not AirTeching, and holding a normal attack button while getting comboed was just really unintuitive. So we decided to make it occur automatically.
Clock, like this seems cool, but like say I do a combo and you AirTech back, right?
Yeah.
Can't I just like juggle you there like for a long time?
So what we've done to combat that is you can opt out of the automatic AirTech by holding down.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so we want to prevent any sort of like checkmate situations and give you another option to protect against offense. But of course, if I'm holding down and Sean knows I'm holding down, he can just like launch me again or something, He can just keep hitting me. Yeah,
it's great.
Okay.
It's not a real combo, but that's the sort of trade-off between, AirTeching and not AirTeching.
We do take those though. We do take those.
So, OTG changes in Alpha Lab 1, we heard a lot of feedback that, it was pretty boring to end like a combo with an OTG, which in Alpha Lab 1, it forced the back roll, and then it really put you, at your opponent's mercy to their wake-up games, right? So now when you do a weak OTG on the ground, we give you the same suite of get-up actions as we do for other knockdowns. Yeah, I can roll back.
entiendo que eso le da más posibilidades de poder salir
I can do my
de
next
esos
one.
combos, claro.
Another one that we
Y así no
focused on was
está,
reducing combo length.
no queda a merced de unos combos más largos.
We made a lot of adjustments with the goal of just like shortening them and the feel in general. So for one, you can no longer call assists after a tag launcher. And you can also no longer tag after performing a double down super or supers with both champions in one combo. As an example, in Alpha Lab 1, we were seeing combos with multiple double downs in them,
Mm,
and it was taking a very long time. We also reduced hit pause across the board, which we talked about a little earlier. But this really makes combos feel a lot shorter. It also makes the game feel a little bit faster as well. I also want to talk a little bit about red health regeneration. There were a lot of games where like a champion would get damaged with a lot of remaining red health, and then once that red goes away, you see that gray there, and that gray is what actually heals up. People would just literally run away for a really long time, and a big factor in this was not just how easy it was to run away, but mainly just how long it took for that health to regenerate. We made a regenerate at a speed which just allows players to get back into the action faster and make a decision where it's like,
ok,
hey, like this
mucho
player's
mejor.
gonna land pretty soon. Like let me get back out there. And then I want to talk a little bit about dead assists. Dead assists? What are you talking about? Well, a big change we made is really allowing you to use your assists after they've been KO'd. You see Echo off screen only has 2 bars. So even though Echo's KO'd, Tom can still do assists, can do super assists. So he's still very much in the action. And we've actually just found that a lot more fun. And when you combine that with him being able to like push block with the team button, there's a lot to do, even if you accidentally get KO'd early. Or are you going to go ahead and use this super assist? You're going to use it now and clutch out the round? You're going to waste it, and then your teammate's going to be like, oh my God, you should have saved it for the next round. Now that's your decision. That's you, and then that fight is yours to fight with your teammate as well. We still want there to be some counterplay. So like I said before, Tom, if you call your assist out,
Yep.
and you'll notice like that's a 7-second cooldown, and it's a long time, and so you can get your window back to try to turn the tides there.
Finally, we felt like super jumps were too predictable and also received similar feedback in that vein. So as a result, we allow you to hold forward, back, or down
El super jump,
to
bueno.
jump in these directions for a super jump, allowing you to keep your opponent guessing and have a bit more freedom in how you navigate a number of situations. So this is my regular super jump right here, right? I can get that same distance and like hold it back.
Bueno.
You can also hold down when you super jump to sort of affect
Para
the
los combitos eso va a estar interesante.
we just wanted to give a little bit more agency over your
Sí,
jump bar.
sobre el
Super jumps.
zarco.
Yeah, we had a lot of work that we wanted to do in order to improve clarity and excitement, whether you're playing or spectating. This also lined up with a ton of feedback that you all provided us around experiences with both. One note we heard was sometimes in a match, champions were too close together and it was pretty hard to tell what was happening. So as a result, we increased the collision pill.
Es algo que
so that,
también
now they are more visually separated during combat.
comenté.
Assist cooldown. So we heard from you all that the location for the assist cooldown timer was too far from the action. So we centralized this around the match timer. That way, it's easier to see in the middle than it is on the sides of the screen where it was before. Another thing that we heard were wall bounces were really fast and hard to follow up on. So we changed the animation for it and slowed it down a bit to make for easier combos. So here, I'm going to jump up so you can combo me. Yeah, and so Jinx right here is falling much slower than she would
Bueno,
in Alpha Lab 1.
está bueno eso.
It's a lot easier to follow up on.
Se pueden hacer.
Handshake tag. We received a lot of feedback. That handshake tag,
Interesante lo de los combos por pared.
it's
Se más,
not only confusing,
más
but
rápido
frustrating as well. So we just
para
took
poder
that
hacerlo.
functionality out. So Tom, wait, maybe. Yeah. Tom, you come. Yeah. And then I'm gonna try to handshake tag and I can't.
Oh,
Can't do
okay.
it.
Yeah. So get hit one more time.
Yeah, that always felt super.
Yeah. So I'm trying to handshake tag and I can't.
Mash it. Oh my God.
So cam block indicators. So we heard that sometimes it's really hard to understand how you got opened up, especially in hectic heat of the moment battles. So we decided to add an indicator for incorrect blocking. So for example, I'm going to be blocking low here and Sean's going to hit me high.
Let me just stand. Let me hit you with a normal low, just so you can see
Oh,
the
got it.
difference. So just stand there.
Yeah. So that's me getting hit normally, and then
hold
this
back.
is me blocking high.
See the yellow shards coming off.
Yeah. And same thing with overheads. And you can see here that we've actually, the colors are a bit more striking, whether it's high or low, so that you can tell the difference between getting high. Hit high.
Ok.
you'll know exactly why you got hit, and you'll be able to defend against those situations in the future. So celebrating outplays. Finally, when you do something amazing, we want to make sure that everyone in and out of the game knows it, and the height matches and skill required to reach this moment. So now a successful physical parry. We put some presentation on it. So yeah, we've slowed it down.
Ese parry estaba maravilloso.
Very, very rare moment.
Estaba bacán.
So we put some presentation on it. We added some time dilation and some and we want to make sure that the effects aren't covering up the champs as well. So clarity and presentation.
Está bueno, está bueno. Se ve bonito.
We've added presentation on the moment when you punish a retreating guard. So yeah, you block high and then. Oh. Okay, so as you can see, we have some. We're slowing down or additional hit pause as well. Some of the effects were. We consider this a big outplay moment.
Yeah, it's also pretty cool since you have a little bit more time to hit confirm and see what you want to do if you like it. So I'll show you. Go to block. So Paul Darius do something special there.
No ahí le salió. Y puedes contestar. Buena, está buena esa.
Yeah, so it's presentation, clarity, but also gives you a bit more time to hit confirm.
As you guys have seen, like Jinx is our newest champion. We are super excited. She is our take on a zoner character. It's really important that we have a broad variety of archetypes, and this is our first true sort of keep you out and frustrate your character. She's like a genius inventor. She's created all these gadgets, and she uses them to fight and keep you at bay and frustrate you. She's all about disruption, chaos, explosions, and just has a lot of fun doing it. And her game plan is basically to kind of fill the screen with garbage and stay one step ahead of you, frustrate you, confuse you, and yeah, just take you down that way.
Hoy está bonito el color, weón.
So good. I'll start with her.
Está bonito el recolor, weón.
Medium heavy, and she got her little crouch light, medium heavy. Her down forward light's a little slide, get some distance, and then she's got like a running medium attack, which is
Aquí estamos viendo solo ataques de Jinx.
really cool. So she can go in. She's not just keep you out forever. Like you might want to pick your spots to go in. She's also got down forward heavy, which is an overhead, and she can combo off of it and do some stuff there. But yeah, she's got like a couple things here, and one thing I want to call out too is her M's all use her zapper, and that will actually come into play with how it interacts with her kit, which I'll go over in a second. I want to talk about her specials. So she's bringing out Pow Pow, and she's shooting that machine gun. The cool thing is, as you saw, mine only did 6 hits, but Clocks did 12. It's because you can hold it. So if you just want to hold it and grind it out, you can, which is really fun. You can also hold up to extend it. And so you can hold it and then hold up and hold it, and you can get 20 hits out of this thing, which is pretty fun.
Bueno.
We'll talk about that's a really cool point as well. One of Jinx's unique abilities is that she can cancel.
Ese pasito, weón, me recuerda a algo el pasito saltando, weón.
And she can cancel this on hit or block.
No sé si el personaje en el LoL lo hace así, pero me recuerda a algo en el movimiento.
So she does have a lot of opportunities to use both her S1 or S2 specials together. Talking a little bit, she has a back S1, which is a nice little anti-air spread, which again, you can combo this into missile when they jump in and try to follow up, which is really cool. She's got an air S1, so she's grinding it out mid-air, which is really cool as well, and you can again combo that into missile. So I'll go ahead and just show you real quick. You can cancel it right away. So that is unique to her. All right, let's talk about her S2 specials. So that's her rocket.
Sí.
She's shooting that out of her awesome weapon, Fishbones. You can shoot one on the ground. You can shoot it in the air. You can also hold it, which takes a second to come out, but then it flies out really fast. She can also shoot it down while she's in the air. And this hits you. It also hits OTG, so you can do some cool, fun stuff with that. She's also got down S2, which is a rocket jump. She can hit down forward, or down back. So it's a really unique movement option.
Está bueno para moverse.
And it also hits OTG. So
Está bueno ese ataque para moverse, weón.
then she has a back S2. So you might notice this meter just above the super bars with her zapper. When it's full, you hit back S2. She shoots a zapper projectile, and this thing lights you up, electrifies you, and you get a free follow-up.
Por un momento pensé que estaba muy bajito, entonces le subí el volumen.
I know you're trying to go for that zapper combo. Look, we definitely got that on tape, all right? Also, I want to talk a lot about her traps and how her kind of kit revolves around and interacts with them. So the first thing is she's got chompers. You do this with forward S1, and you tap it, and it has this little patrol of like front, back, and then after a bit of time, it explodes. Again, for counterplay, if you hit her or she blocks, like it goes away. You can also just knock that thing away with projectiles or attacks, and it'll disappear. Then she can also hold forward S1 and throw the chomper, and that's actually really cool. You notice the eyes are completely off when she's throwing it, is not active. So go ahead and throw it at me, Clock. So even though it hit me, it's still on the ground active. But then once it's active, if it touches you, it's gonna lock on. It's gonna explode after a little bit of time. So the name of the game is like, do you put it out? But then do you use your buttons in really cool ways to get it over to the opponent, right? And so you know, like when you look at this like Crouch M or you look at this S1, there's a lot of ways you can interact with chompers. Yeah, you can do stuff like that. That's actually really
Wow. Wow.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Wow,
So,
qué bacán.
and another really cool thing too is her assists. Speaking of chompers, you know when you do team that calls chompers, and you notice it attaches on block even, and they have to like you can parry the explosion, but it's something they really have to pay attention to. And then of course her back assist is her S2. Was that a parry attempt that I just saw there?
Maybe.
That's yeah. Okay, let's see. We're gonna give you the chance. Okay, we got there.
Se puede parrar.
That's like one of her.
Se puede parrear. Qué buena.
Another one is monkey. So you do this with down S1, and she puts this monkey out, and it'll go across the screen. And once it reaches the champion, it explodes the enemy champion. However, you can hit the down S1 again, and she can raise or lower the height,
Mira.
which is really fun. And as Tom mentioned before, hey, hitting the chompers with like her specials and normals, you can do the same thing with monkey as well. You can smack it. They kind of bounce into each other.
Qué bacán.
And then like you could do stuff like this. Here, I'll go ahead and reset it to the middle. So just don't move. So don't move at all. So you can do stuff like this. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see if I can try it. Just a second.
Ooh.
So there's a lot of really clever things you can do with it. Like
Qué bacán que podéis pegarle al objeto.
depends on your timing.
O a las trampas, mejor dicho.
There. But another cool thing that you can do with the monkey is that you can actually charge it with your zapper.
Okay.
So that's your zapper special, under with the bar at the bottom of the screen, but also your M button. So let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. So if you hit it, it actually like gets charged, it goes faster, and then it's gonna like quickly electrify them. You get a combo after,
Está bueno.
which is really fun. Same if you do this with the zapper.
Está entretenido el personaje, weón.
Maybe that
Me pasa que con este juego
we'll see if you can. But again, this one's
me llama la atención probar otros personajes. No Ari de momento porque no he visto que han hecho cambios.
normal attack, it'll kill it. But
Pero tiene pinta que le van a hacer cambios. Pero con Jinx está bueno el personaje. Está entretenido, weón.
push it back really. And so that's one of the strengths compared to chompers, which just gets destroyed by it.
Se va a probar. Se va a probar en el alfa. Sí o sí.
A little bit about her supers. So her S1 super, which you remember, it's S1 plus any normal. So we're gonna do S1 and L. She puts this big rocket in there and a bunch of
Pew pew
fireworks.
pew.
So a really cool thing you can do is you can just like run up and do like light, medium, heavy, hold S1, up S1, and then do her S1 super and get that rocket going.
Ahí es un
And this
combo
is a
básico.
really fun super because if you can get them in the sweet spot of the explosions, it does a ton of damage. Also, it's good to catch jumpers. And another thing I want to talk about a little bit as well is her S2 super. So this one is she takes that zapper and charges it and shoots a big beam.
Ojo.
It doesn't do as much damage as the fireworks in the sweet spot, but it's great for killing assists.
Sí.
And hitting like multiple people at once. Also, once you activate it, after the activation, you can hold up and angle it upwards. So you can do it. And if someone tries to jump, you can react during that freeze. You can also shoot it straight in the air.
Está muy bueno eso.
As Clock showed. And we'll see if we can get this guy going.
It's so easy.
I'm just really bad at this game. There we go. I was doing the wrong one. I was doing S1. And so yeah, you can shoot that down. You can shoot it straight. See, he tried to parry. Let's see if we can parry this thing. Hold on. Let's see if we can parry this. Let's hit.
También se puede parrear.
See a misplay. You do see a misplay, but we like the attempt. If you all can parry that, send me a clip. Send us all a clip. We want to see it. And you better not whiff at the end either. It has to be like a parry and a punish. That aside, though, there's a lot of, as you can see, there's a lot of utility with the beam. You have S1 plus S2, which is her ult. This is one of my favorites. It's really sick. So she hits this button, lets it rip, and this thing comes down and explodes and does a lot of damage. The really cool thing is it kind of tracks the opponent's location a little bit, and that super mega death rocket will land like right in front of them. But also, its height doesn't change. So if like they're in the air, it will hit them in the air as it's falling, which is really cool. Let's see if we can maybe manufacture that. Hit that button, man. Yeah, so you see it brought clock down, which is really cool as well.
Ah, bueno.
And yeah, I showed you a little bit of the assist. I do want to show you the super assist, which is pretty cool. So she shoots a big spike. And you know, some of our super assists, they do look like existing supers in the game. But you know, sometimes
Puede ser una combinación Darius con Jinx.
you know, we're definitely experimenting with a lot.
Definitivamente voy a probar Jinx en...
It's a pretty fun moment.
Primero, si es que tenemos el alfa.
Back and the assist
Pero si la tenemos, la voy a probar.
gets through it. And so we'll go ahead and reset. We'll go ahead and set the health so I can show you a little bit about like a couple combos, maybe just to kind of like get the juices flowing. I'll go ahead and start with a really fun one that uses a couple of her traps. So you can throw the chompers out, throw this out, zap, wait for it to explode, throw it out, hit the beam. Let's see if I timed it right.
What?
Oh, I messed it up. I did double down. I was mashing.
What?
It does take a little bit more precision. I do have to double down. We'll give it one more try and we'll see if we can do it.
Weón, los combos
We'll
están...
do this. We'll do this.
Tú,
That.
tú,
Wait for the chompers to explode.
tú,
Throw it.
tú.
Beam. Is that gonna hit?
Oh, you got it.
Oh, I didn't do it.
Too soon?
I did it too early, but you get the idea.
What?
Yeah.
What are some bread and butters?
Yeah, absolutely. So one cool thing you can do is like I said before, down forward heavy is her overhead, and you can do something like that where you can do a rocket jump, immediately like cancel that into her air S1, and then go right into the laser.
Yeah, one of the bread and butters I use is just sort of like a mid-screen combo that I showed earlier, which is into... Oh, wrong super.
Está muy interesante para jugar,
But you can do yours.
para ir lanzando mierda hacia el final es un...
Let me go. Yeah, so it's just like light, medium, heavy.
Tanta...
Hold, cancel on a rocket, zap.
Into zap.
Weón.
If I was a little quicker, should get the full. Oh, we got the full. We get the full. Let's see you do it.
I'm gonna aim it up.
There you go. That's nice.
Debo decir que los recolores están... Está muy bonito el recolor, weón.
Fun is really just like
Queda muy bonito con ese verde y negro, weón.
up and then do the fireworks. The cool thing is you can start setting up. So I'm putting a monkey out.
Y me gusta que todos los ataques se modifiquen en, eso, en base a eso,
Stuff coming at him on the screen. Yo, how dare you?
a ese recolor. Está muy bacán.
Disrespectful. Let me go ahead and I want to show you like two more really fun combos again, just to kind of get the juices flowing. These are pretty hard. They took me some time to practice. I didn't make these up. Shouts to the team that made them up. So one of the things I wanted to show off was this unique normal she has, back heavy, and this is cool because it puts her airborne. So you can shoot a missile right after it. You can do a lot of really cool stuff after it. So I want to kind of show you one thing that's cool. We'll see if we can get it here.
What? Está muy bueno el combo, weón.
How you use her normals in conjunction with all of her traps is just what really like makes her fun, to a lot of us, and we're excited to see you all like dig into it. I'll leave you off with just one more. This one's like pretty hard for me, and so I'm gonna need a lot of tries. I'm gonna need some cheering from y'all to see if we can get this.
I believe in you, Sean.
This one I'm gonna thank you. I'm gonna try to use Darius assist and use some traps here, so we'll see how it goes.
Ok.
All right, that didn't get there.
Oh my god.
What?
Let's go. All right. So
El LOL.
I'm glad I got that.
LOL, weón.
You know,
Están muy entretenidos los combos, weón.
how Jinx looks. There's just so many crazy interactions that y'all can come up with here, and we can't wait to see you just like really break it open.
So, should we like play some matches?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Play some matches.
¿Sabes qué me pasa con esto? Que automáticamente me da que pensar que Ari está desfasada, uno, y que le van a hacer un rework de algo. Y la versatilidad que pueden llegar los personajes, weón. Eso me llama mucho, mucho, mucho la atención. Así que bacán, weón. Bacán, bacán. Lo que puede venir con los próximos personajes, con una Sir, weón, por ejemplo, o con, así a la rápida estoy pensando, con Set, por ejemplo, de ir golpeando, haciendo llave, tirándolo al piso, después continuando el combo, weón. Puede estar muy interesante los personajes que se vengan en este jueguito, weón. Ya tenemos menú aquí. Cambiaron el menú de la primera vez que lo probamos. Se ve la monedita, asumo, de normal con la monedita premium. Estadísticas, rango, obviamente, Challenger, el loguito de Challenger. ¿Qué más cosas hay? Skins que se ven party, tan bonita. Hay una de Echo ahí, hay otra de Ari, hay otra de Darius. Espérate, voy a seguir cortando porque tengo que seguir comentando cosas. Harto cambio, me gustan los cambios, se ven bien, hay que probarlos. Cualquier cosa suena bonito en el papel, pero hay que probarla, hay que cambiar feedback. Entonces, esperemos por favor tener el alfa para probarlo. Está muy bonito, cambió.
Everything we've run through today and more will be available in Alpha Lab 2. That playtest is going to run from April 18th to 20th in the United States, Canada, and Brazil.
Ya, aquí el problema son Apology Man. Está Apology Man, lol. Em, eh, Esto es lo que me enteré, que va a estar en Canadá, Estados Unidos y Brasil. Vamos a intentar nuevamente postular para la alfa de Brasil. Voy a postular con la cuenta que me hice en su momento, así que vamos a ver si sale. Ojalá, ojalá y así podamos streamearlo y jugarlo, bueno, y viciar como condenado esta wea.
We really want to know how these changes are landing for you compared to Alpha Lab 1. So be sure to tell us what you think if you're invited. As we continue to put together this game and understand our path to launch, we'll be sure to keep you in the loop. So stay tuned for updates when we're ready. Can't say exactly when that will be, but I promise we're going to keep you guys well informed as we understand more. For now, let's go to those show matches, huh? Let's go. All right, thanks.
Ya, se vienen partitas. Uy, esa skin, weón. Yasuo es un regolor. Uy, el Brown. Uf, se ve más ágil. La verdad es que se ve más rápido el juego, culeo. Aumentó un poquito la velocidad. Bueno, me hubiera gustado que hubieran jugado en el mapa nuevo, pero... Uh, ese cambio de interfaz, weón, como que hace un zoom, como que se retrae así, para ganar el efecto. Uy, quiero ver la transición de la música. Espérame. Lo siento, ¿no? Sí, no sé si todavía está... Que era algo que a mí me pasaba que sentía muy raro el traspaso de una canción a otra, de un personaje. Porque el stage tiene una canción y cada personaje tiene su propia canción. Entonces las transiciones entre esos momentos eran medio extraños. Uy. Pum, pum, pum. Oh, Ahí podría haber tirado el super, creo. No alcanzaba. Uy. Pum, pum. Creo que se necesita harta precisión, weón, con Jinx. Creo que el personaje amerita. Uff. Amerita harta precisión. Ah, le pega de lleno. Conche tu madre, weón. Pum. Dale, dale. Ah, ah, ah. Bien. Pum. Igual el Fury se ve raro con la. What? ¿Es por las. ¿Es por la skin? ¿Por la skin hizo ese cambio de KO? Igual estaba interesante eso, weón. Sí. Estaba bacana esa skin, weón. Están bonitas las skins, la verdad. Los recolores también están bonitos, weón. Nada que decir, weón. Nada que decir, weón. Se ven bien coloridos. No, este Darius no ha hecho el combo que me manejé yo, ¿eh? No pasa nada, no pasa nada con ese Darius. KO. Es que en otro lado no apareció. ¿Será de skin? Hay cierta skin que deben tener la modificación del KO. Ahí, super. Ah, uy, no sé a quién le está pegando. Todavía me confundo con este juego, weón. O sea, cuando uno ya está jugando, eh, más o menos le va siguiendo a quien va saliendo, pero es fácil perderse, weón. Uy, uh, super ahí. Lo nerfearon. Ese super quitaba caleta, weón, el de Dario. Uy, no le dio. Uh, uh. El cohete del suelo está también bien interesante para cambiar, weón. Zap. Se ve mucho más ágil, weón. Me gusta cómo se está viendo ahora el juego, weón. Aumentó la velocidad, la verdad. Uy, se lo comió. Lo parrió. Pum, pum. Uh. Ahí no sé si podría, cuando cae, volver a hacer otro cohete al suelo. Para intentar continuarlo. Ah, ya, mira, muestra. Mira, 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 interesante eso. Que al final de la partida muestra cómo van. Está bueno eso. No, ¿cómo lo que tiraba medio segundo para atrás? Aquí. Más. Ya, no sé. Pero en un punto muestra el match. Eso. Eso. Eso, exactamente eso. Está bonita la skin, weón. La que me parece más fea, por así decirlo. Pero el color no me gusta que tiene. Tal vez con un recolor debe ser más interesante. Lo que sí son skins propias, diría, porque no han reutilizado skins del LoL. Diría. Voy a después rever las la skin de pool que hay para ver si se parecen en algo. O alguna de las skins que se ha mostrado se parece a alguna del LoL. Con Ilaoi no puede jugar mucho, weón. No me acostumbré mucho a su método de juego. Eso está bacán, weón. Esa como extensión. Como que intenta hacerlo del Guilty Gear cuando los chocaban en pared, pero no te choca en pared, sino que te sigue extendiendo un poco más la zona del mapa. Lo que sí no sé, perdón, voy a hacer una pausa. No sé si esa extensión hace que vuelvan al medio de nuevo. O vuelve al neutral. Chucha, que la por acá, weón. Creo que creo que es por acá. Aquí viene. Pum, pum. Sí, como que igual vuelven al medio. Como en el Guilty Gear también, que... Eso está bueno. Sí, me gusta ese movimiento de interfaz, weón. Le queda... Le da la presencia del agarre, del cambio de cámara. Nuevamente, esto solamente lo estoy comentando desde lo que veo. Vamos a ver si a nivel de gameplay, cuando juegas, se siente cómodo. Uy, uy, que te tienen para la cagada. Uy, parece que ellos también quieren como medio marcando ocupado. Uf, bueno. Ahí. Zap. Está bien hecho el cambio ahí. Uy, vamos a estar súper entretenido jugar con gente, weón. Yo tengo pensado para jugar, weón. Jugar unas partitas y irse comunicando mientras vaya haciendo combos. Va a estar bueno, weón. A ver, disculpa desde antes porque voy a manquear de una manera. Pero es bien ágil, weón. Entonces hay que estar hablando. Hay que hacer la corta. ¿Viste ese que yo? ¿De qué no, no es de ninguno de ellos. No sé. Es un gato. Es un gato acá, así que. Nada, que es que hay que hacerle cariño. Vino a pedir cariño. ¿Qué pasó, Simba? Ay, me vino a pedir cariñito. Uh, uh, weón, está muy bueno ese combo, weón. Uy, se lo comió el eco. Uy, se lo agarró de nuevo. Se ve extraño el Fury como marcado. Uy, lo- tal vez irá variando. Tal vez de la cuenta tú puedes personalizar el que yo. Puede ser eso, puede ser eso. Que no sea por la skin, sino que por lo que vas ganando en el pase de batalla o lo que quieran que van a poner. Puedes ir modificando la interfaz, el KO, todas esas huevitas. Puta, me quedo con ganas de jugarlo. La verdad es que me quedo con ganas de jugarlo. Bien entretenido. Se ve más rápido, se ve más dinámico. Así que con todas las ganas de probarlo. Vamos a ver si con la cuenta brasileña sale. Así que nada, pues, vamos a resubir esto completito. Voy a intentar dentro de los próximos días ir subiendo el análisis. No creo que sea tan extenso, pero sí va a ser algo más contenido y con toda la información que pueda recabar de esto. Así que genial. Nos estaremos viendo en una próxima edición. Sigan el canal, dejen sus comentarios de las cosas que quieren ver. Prontamente, si sale el alfa, vamos a estar transmitiendo, así que pueden seguirme ya en YouTube o en otras plataformas que también voy a estar haciendo todo ese contenido. Así que nada más que decirles que nos estamos viendo. Gracias por su tiempo y nos estaremos viendo en la próxima. Chau, chau. Ahora tengo que encontrar el botón de detener esta grabación. Ahí está. Chau, chau. Cuídense.